Welcome back to another episode of Thanks for the Consult. As always, I'm Fior, and today we have Aaron with us. And today's guest is Zach. Zach, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. So, I've met you before, obviously. I think it's the first time you met Aaron, and I'm sure some of our listeners, viewers, whatever you want to call them, may not know you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So as Fior said, I'm Zach. I'm fairly still new to the EMT field, so it'll be a year in September. Um, Pretty much work rural EMS. One of my services, I guess, isn't as rural, but still not as busy. Um, I kind of grew up around this field, so my grandma was an EMT. My two oldest brothers were EMTs. Um, so I was in the fire service before I got into this field, but the fire service isn't what led me to getting into this field. I actually started the medical field being a nursing assistant, so um, wiping ass, the whole 9 yards. So I did that for like 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Um, One, got burned out of it, but two, I just wanted something that was more exciting. And EMS kind of always interested me. So finally had the opportunity pop up. I was part of the first EMS Academy at BC3. Um, I'll be licensed a year in August. So
Yeah.
um, yeah.
So, were you at a nursing facility at a hospital? Where were you working at as a
So I did both.
CNA?
So I started in a nursing facility,
Okay.
um, and I went there. Before that, I was actually doing hospital security at Butler Hospital.
All
Um,
right.
so I kind of got to see the ER aspect of it from an outsider perspective in a
Yeah.
way. Um, and then one of my coworkers that actually works security got me into being a nursing assistant. So I started at a nursing home. I moved to Kansas for a little bit to help my brother, and there I was in a hospital setting, as in this. They called it a patient care technician, but same thing. Then
Yeah.
I came back and went back to nursing home, and then I got into the field.
Nice. So, you had mentioned the EMS Academy. For those that aren't familiar, um, could you tell us a little bit about that? How that
Yeah, so
experience
the
was and
the
what it is?
EMS Academy at BC3, it's an 8 week program. I think they run like 2 or 3 a year. Basically, you go through the 8 weeks. They pay your tuition, plus they pay you to go to the academy. I believe it's $13 an hour. So they pay for all your books. They pay your tuition. They pay for your first round of NREMT testing. They pay for your psychometer, and you just give back a year of service in the county once you get certified.
That's a pretty awesome program.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much full time. It's Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4, and then you have to do one ride along every weekend while you're in the academy.
Okay. Um, and then I assume that different services that you're doing your ride-alongs and things that they understand, hey, you have to work for a year afterwards. So it's pretty much a guaranteed placement after a year, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean obviously, depending on hiring needs,
Yeah.
but
That everybody needs.
yeah, I mean, so when I first got out of the academy, there's a couple places that I was interested in versus where places that I'm at now,
Okay.
and one of the places I applied to stated they were hiring when they came in and spoke with us, but then I applied and all of a sudden they weren't hiring and had no open positions.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. So one of the things, as I'm sure most of our folks know and you know, I've been doing this for probably roughly the same amount of time you've been alive.
Yeah,
Um,
you're old.
thanks, buddy. Thanks. But it's, so I have all kinds of things that I tell people like, hey, if you're getting into the field, remember this, you know, but you know, it's kind of a good, checks and balance because it's been over 20 years since I got into the
Right.
field. What is something that, if somebody came up to you today and was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this EMS Academy, getting into EMS, like what is some advice that you would give them to help them have the most successful uh, experience possible?
I mean, first and foremost, don't expect to be paid much. The pay's not there in the field. You have to have a passion and a commitment more than expecting a paycheck. focus on your patient care, focus on being the best that you can be, and as learning as much as possible. Don't just come in with a head on your shoulders thinking that you know everything. Because when I first started, I thought I knew more than what I did. It's by being in the medical field before. I'll be honest. Like I thought that I was on my high horse. I was above, all my other classmates because I already had medical experience. I knew it all,
Yeah,
and then I didn't know it all. Um, so definitely be willing to learn, be open to learn, and don't think you know everything because more than likely you don't.
fair point. Fair point. One thing I would add to that is, from my end of things, is ask the questions that you've got. Sorry, I'm dropping things over here. Uh, ask questions, and I'm sure you've had, when you come out of class, you feel like Superman ready to take on the world, right?
Absolutely. I felt like Superman ready to get started when I was doing ride-alongs.
And I knew in my experience in the past, you get humbled pretty quick.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
one of those I don't believe in stupid questions kind of guys?
No, I certainly believe there are stupid questions.
Oh, he'll give you the
Good.
look of stupid questions because I've
And,
asked him stupid questions before.
um,
Good.
and the threshold for what is and what is not a stupid question gets a lot. That threshold's a lot lower the more tired I am. So if you ask me something at noon versus 2 in the morning, you could get a different response. But in all honesty, like if you have a question, ask a question, even if it is probably one that, it, I don't want to say there's no stupid questions because there are,
There a
but
1000% is.
a lot of the time, I think the quote stupid questions are a result of poor training. Because and
Or
it
poor
becomes,
listening.
well, that too, but it becomes the responsibility of, your field trainers, preceptors, things like that to kind of help fix the or fill the gap, if you will, between what they should have learned and what was actually learned, if that makes sense. I don't want to sound like every question is a good question no matter what, but I also don't want I don't want people to be afraid to ask their questions either. So I'd rather you ask the dumb question, get it sorted out, and then learn and move on, than to, you know, just
I mean, and to be fair, so brand new to the EMS field, 2 weeks after I started out of service, I was running the truck with somebody who was in the same class as me alone.
that's a heck of a lot of trust that they put in you
Yeah.
doing that. Um, I I don't think that it was like that. Um, I know it wasn't like that when I started. Aaron, is it?
Yeah, no, me and one guy that had just finished class, we were all in the truck together like 2 or 3 weeks in. They were like, "Are you guys good?" And I didn't know he'd only been on a truck for 2 or 3 weeks, and he was like, "I'm good if he is." And I think he thought that I had been on a truck for only 2 to 3 weeks.
So
And I
you
was
both
like,
thought the other one was like the anchor of experience on
"Yeah."
the crew.
And then he gave me my first Zin that night. It was like a 6 milligram Zin. And I was like, is this gonna kill me? Because I have zero nicotine tolerance. He's like, no, you'll be good. And then I like lied Nick sick on the floor, just like, thank God we didn't get a call.
Do you get the hiccups?
The hiccups?
Dude, if I take a Zen that is, or the Zens are okay. There's other brands out there that I don't know where these guys are getting them, but they're like 12 and 18 milligrams. I'll just get like violent hiccups that won't go away for 2 hours if I
Interesting.
like have it in for like a minute. So some of the cops at the one place that I work, uh, think it's hilarious. So like, hey, you want a Zen? I'm like, how many milligrams? Like, oh, it's only 3. It's only 6. I'm like, all right, cool. And immediately I just start hiccuping like, you jerks.
It feels like that should be illegal. That's like drugging somebody
Well, kinda. Maybe.
under a false pretense. Like for police officers, you feel like they would be a little bit more concerned about that kind of thing.
One of the things that I think is a huge like eye opener whenever you kind of start doing this is like cops are just dudes and chicks like us that not that, like they're just people and they do the same dumb horsing around crap that we do at the station at their station. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I remember when I first started, we had local police, and we would very occasionally see the state police. But like when you saw them, you were like, "Oh, better be on my best behavior," you know. But the other day, I was on a scene for 8 hours with the state police, and we're just like joking around, having I mean, it was a pretty tense scene, but like we would find a minute to joke around or whatever. It's just like they're just normal people like us that
Normal's a relative term.
normal to us,
Yeah,
abnormal people, I guess. If that is that, yeah, they're. I mean, if we're using us as the baseline for normal, like they're normal.
it's already a skewed scale.
Yeah. So on your bell curve, where would they be? That be the five?
Maybe. Well, what's the two ends of the curve?
So
Normal and
like,
not normal.
yeah. Well, yeah, we'll go
Then
with
that wouldn't look like a bell curve distribution in that case,
we need to work
right?
this
Because
out.
the most number of people are going to be normal, which means it has to be heavily centered towards the middle. So you have to have two ends of the spectrum that are not normal.
So what would be
Hypernormal and hyponormal.
what would be an example of hypernormal?
Just like some dude named Steve that you've never like heard share an opinion ever. You're just like, there's Steve.
And then hyponormal would be
Just like
public
anybody you've ever
safety.
met that does EMS. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone in public safety is hyponormal. So yeah,
Yeah.
so they're I guess towards the hyponormal side, just like the rest of us.
So maybe like a 4 then.
I guess I was gonna give them a
They're like the
3 5.
norm because they pull hot chicks, so they're probably a little bit more normal.
I feel like dudes in EMS can pull hot chicks too.
Name 3.
You're looking at all three, baby.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Bjorn must have dreamt good last night.
Zach, can you pull hot chicks?
I mean, in my opinion, I already have a dime, so
I guess Aaron, you're the odd man out here.
Yeah, dude, I'm pulling 2s.
Only need 5 of them to make it 10.
Like the last girl I dated was debatably a horse. Like I think it actually was. Now that I think about it,
Do go on. You're,
nothing more to say.
oh, there is so much more to say. Like, did she whinny whenever like you'd meet her? Did you feed her exclusively carrots and oats out
She
of
always
your
had her hair
hand?
in a ponytail.
Did you have to make sure not to like keep your fingers apart lest she mistake them for a carrot and bite them? So like you had to cup your hands.
The horses have great vision. Actually, they would never do that.
They why is that a thing that everyone tells you that does horse things that they'll bite your fingers because they think they're carrots?
How many people have you met that do horse things?
Oh, so many.
Really?
There was a
You're
period.
like really engaged in the horse community.
I mean, not anymore. There was a
Have you ever
period when I
dated
was
one?
younger that I thought horses were kind of cool. I wanted to be a cowboy, and
I've
Have you ever
been
then
dated
bitten by
one?
a horse
on your finger,
on my arm.
that's a big carrot.
It
Yeah. How was that? Did it hurt?
didn't bite down too hard. It was fine.
Nice.
What kind of horse?
I don't know, a brown
Black or
one.
white?
It was
Okay.
brown.
Huh. Interesting. Aaron, Aaron, you seem to be the resident expert now about horses.
What? Do you have a question?
Yeah. Where are you getting your equine knowledge?
Just it's out there, dude. You just got to get the experience.
I remember, I don't remember the age I was, but we went on a family vacation in Arizona. And my dad was like, "Oh, we're going to go on this horseback riding tour through the desert." So we ride these horses through the desert. And right after we're like, "All right, we're going to turn around and head back," he falls off and breaks his freaking arm. And we're in the middle of nowhere. And the only way to get back is on this horse that he fell off of. And now his arm's broken. So we like get him back up on the horse, literally and
Is that where they
figuratively.
came up with that expression from?
I don't know if that was it, but I can see how it tracks. But yeah, they had to ride through the desert with a broken arm till we got back, and my mom was freaking out, like,
Is your dad a hero?
I guess. I mean, you've met him.
I have met him.
Does he
He's a
give hero
boomer.
vibes?
No.
But yeah, so that's my, and
His dad does voice to text for every text message he sends, even if it would be faster to type it.
That actually sounds like a true hero.
I mean, to be fair, it is like he is completely transparent. Like, your dad's not hiding anything from anybody because you know the intimate details of everything he texts everybody.
I guess, yeah, if you're just in proximity. Dude, wouldn't that be wild if he was like still in like the business world, and he's like disciplining somebody on voice to text. It's like your performance is garbage. You have failed all your metrics. One
Or he had
more.
like proprietary information that he's just like doing voice to text in like a public like coffee
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah, as he's walking through Walmart.
Oh yeah. I guess I see now why when the president gets a phone, the Secret Service like takes it and disables like 90% of it.
The nuclear bomb code is 684.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone. I would hope it's more than a 3-digit code. But
No, it's just 684.
like we have our space technology is still the same as it was in the 80s. So
That's what they want you to think.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably a two-digit code instead.
Yeah. It's just the number 0 because that's how many people will be left. 0.
Are you guys pro Pluto as a planet?
We've had this discussion. I think I am.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with Pluto being a planet, so it's staying a planet.
Interesting.
You're obviously anti-Pluto as a planet.
I don't have a horse in the race.
Hey, callback pun. No, I don't. I mean, I get it that scientists are like, no, it's not a planet, but I'm like, oh, poor
Well, it's because
guy.
their planet criteria is stupid.
What is the planet criteria?
Oh, I have to look it up. I forget what it is, but it's like it has to like go in a circle and it has to be like round. There's like 3 specific criteria.
All right.
This is a very important
Orbital
thing to delay the
path,
podcast for.
hydrostatic equilibrium, clearing the neighbor, and have gravitationally dominant. Must have gravitationally dominated its orbital region.
Yeah, so I think the issue is like it does orbit a
3.
star, but it doesn't have hydrostatic equilibrium. Like it's mostly made of ice. So like if the ice were to melt, like it would lose like 70% of its mass or something stupid. I'm just throwing a number out there, but it's like a preposterous number. And then like it's not the largest thing like in its path it orbits. Like it's got like moons and stuff that are like I don't know.
Well, either way,
It's still a planet.
Pluto's my boy. Was not one of the characters, isn't that like a dog on a Disney thing, Pluto?
You should know that's like an old thing. I mean, yes. He was the dog for Goofy.
Yeah, which is insane. A dog
Because
that has
Goofy is a
A
dog.
dog
Yeah.
has a dog.
yeah, like, all right. Sorry. Anyways, back to reality. Zach, sorry, you got to be careful with us so we can get down some serious rabbit holes here. But having coming up here on your year in the field, what are your thoughts? You liking it?
I mean, I enjoy the field. As we were talking before the podcast, there are parts that get boring. Um, so I've run with 2 services almost my whole year that I've been in the field, and both of them are more laid back, kind of not as busy services. So I haven't really experienced the wild side of it, of getting slammed back to back to back to back. Um, and I kind of want to experience it.
You don't.
Um,
You don't.
I think I do though, because I don't like being bored.
I can tell you, I much more prefer being busy over being slow. But some of
I
us
just
need our naps.
Yeah, I just came off of a 32-hour shift that started on a night shift and then ended after another night shift, and we ran the whole time. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, and I work rurally. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. You think it sounds fun
Well, like
in theory?
Maybe
It sounds like a
maybe
good
don't do
idea.
32-hour shifts. I think that's the problem. I don't think the
You can't
amount of
work rural.
cog
You can't work rural EMS and not do preposterous shifts. I know somebody who did a 72-hour shift.
on purpose, or they were like, "Ah, crap, I
They were
didn't look at the
scheduled that way.
schedule," and they were just like cool with it.
Well, I think they showed up and they were like, "Oh, guess this is what I'm doing."
I'd do
I'm
a 72-hour shift every week. The beginning of the week and be done the rest of the week, and that's included in overtime. Yeah.
No, I would absolutely lose my mind. I would the second that schedule came out, I'd be on the phone and be like, "You're insane. What is wrong with you?" Like, absolutely not. I would call my boss up and have some choice words for them.
I think 72 hours would be fun. 4 days off, thug it out. 72 hours, you get home and you have the rest of the week. It's pretty much mini vacation every week.
Yeah, you definitely haven't been slammed. I can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, we
So,
have had our days, but it wasn't like a full like. I think there was one day I've been slammed for almost a full 24-hour shift, and that was it so far.
so I was telling Aaron about this last night. This is one shift I will never forget. Um, I was working at a service that typically had 3 trucks on during the day and one overnight. And the third truck was often a transport truck, so you're kind of relying on two. Excuse me. But this particular day was Valentine's Day. So the 13th was
You having a stroke over there or what?
wow. No, I'm good. Just coughing. All right. So let me start over. So it was
You
Valentine's
want me to
Day.
give you a Zyn so I can give you the hiccups?
Yes. So the 13th was the one of the other crews. It was one of their birthday. They're like, I think it was their 29 or their 30th birthday. So it was like, because I remember the party was like a funeral for my 20s or something. So her partner was like, well, I'm not getting stuck with some rando. So he took PTO. And then they never filled the third truck to begin with on the shifts. We go from having 3 trucks to 1 truck for 24 hours. We transported 22 patients and we had everything from rollover with extrications, cardiac arrest, your routine nonsense that was just enough to make you want to murder somebody. And this place, the management was at the time what I would consider useless because they put on a supervisor from 7 to 3 and a different one from 3 to 11. And I had sent a message to both of them and said, hey, can you guys like leave 8 hours uncovered with a supervisor? We don't need it. And can you guys pick up 8 hours at the same time and man a second truck because we're getting slammed? No, like, nah, we got stuff to do. We can't be bothered with that. So they just ended up QRSing calls when we're coming back from the city to make sure that we could handle more calls. That is why I will never do a 72-hour shift. I was so tired at one point. We were leaving St. Margaret's Hospital. I put the truck in drive and just like fell asleep with my foot on the brake. Security came over, was like, hey, you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not.
Just
Safety stand down.
double up on caffeine and full send it.
Yeah. No, to make things worse, we got a late call because, of course, our ship bag relief wasn't there yet. So we were late getting out of the worst shift ever. So, say that to say, there should absolutely be shift length maximums because, like Aaron and I were discussing last night, at some point, mentally, you become useless to your patients. Like you are not providing adequate care. I don't care how good you are, how young you are, how experienced you are, anything. At some point, you become so tired, you are not providing adequate care. And then
Yeah, absolutely.
physically, at some point, your body will just be like, I don't care. I'm going to sleep. And if that's behind the wheel, that's another problem. So
I have a hot take.
go for it.
Patient care would be better if people didn't have to do trip sheets.
Oh, I agree 100%.
I hate trip sheets.
I have seen people withhold care because they think it'll be easier to document.
Because
Or,
I think the idea is like, oh, people like will be able to make sure people are following protocols and doing the right thing based on the trip sheets. But like,
it's for billing, honestly. So the protocol following QA stuff was accomplished just fine when we had bubble forms and handwritten charts that took 38 and a half seconds to complete for every call. You dropped them in the box at the hospital. But whenever the billing got complicated, that's whenever trip sheets got complicated. And then I'm sure everybody's heard at least one story of somebody stealing narcotics. So then the narcotics procedure became, more laborious but yeah, I've absolutely seen people, I don't give pain meds because it's a pain in the ass. I have to retag it. I have to do this extra form. So I agree. I think at some point the paperwork makes people provide garbage care.
I think the goal is just to legislate healthcare into an oblivion.
Go on.
No, I'm just gonna let that stand on its own. No elaboration.
Can't do that.
That's what I'm doing. I say what I said. If you have questions, I'll gladly answer your questions. Just
What do
remember there are stupid questions.
what do you mean?
That's a
No,
stupid
just like
question. He can't answer that.
thank you, Zach. I would like to defer all questions to Zach, who is now the spokesperson for me. I will tell you, Zach, if you're willing to be my spokesperson, it is a tough gig. I
Oh,
say
it really
some
is.
pretty wild
It,
stuff.
it sounds like it.
You have to back
Yeah,
up some pretty reckless hot takes.
right. Sometimes I just say things for the sake of the chaos, and like it can be pretty hard to defend sometimes.
You know, you mentioned people withholding like pain medicine stuff. Though there was a medic I worked with. We had a guy that fell down in the basement and
Mhm.
did something to his knee. Um, couldn't move it or anything, in excruciating pain. And it took another medic who came QRS with the fire department for her to want to give pain meds because she didn't want to do the trip sheet. She wanted to BLS it.
Yep. 100%. I've seen that so many times. It is infuriating. And like I've worked at places that you run on a double medic crew and then they still won't give pain meds. I'm like, you have to ride this call anyways. It's your turn. You're up. Like, it's nuts. I agree. I think if you're at the point in your career where you're like, oh, I'm withholding pain meds because I don't want to do paperwork, find another job. This isn't for you. You got into this for the wrong reason. Whatever reason you came up with was a bad one because ultimately your job is to take care of sick and injured people. And if you can't do that, then move along.
I prefer the alternative solution, which is just don't do the paperwork.
Yeah, no, that's kind of like a short-sighted solution, I guess. It's like at some point you will get fired.
I don't know, depending on how desperate they are, you can let that ride pretty far.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say you just let it ride out till they threaten it, and then you get it done.
Well,
Then you start a new batch of riding it out.
I worked at an organization where uh, somebody retired and on their last day brought in a trunk full of file boxes full of the uh, papers that they would fill out on the calls and not a single one had a corresponding trip sheet entered in charts, like thousands of calls, like his entire career there he did not write a single trip sheet. I know another guy that left the same organization who when I worked there when he was gone and he had somewhere like 600 outstanding charts that he was just never going to do. So I
Yeah, I
guess
mean, when you get into triple digits, at that point, I'd say I'll lose my license. Like, there's no way that I'm going to sit down and do 3 digits worth of PCRs.
I had a medic. She would every day she worked, she'd bring in a whole box of trip sheets, so it was like this big. She worked at two different services, and she just the whole shift would sit there and do trip sheets until she was falling asleep in the office chair, and she still wouldn't get caught up.
that's Zach, you know this, Aaron, you know this about me. I always use the app on my phone when I transport. Because if I don't, like I'll forget. Like if you hand me, oh, here's 10 charts that you need to do from 3 months ago. I don't, I wrote some stuff down, but like I need it like in the time sequenced everything. I can't go crazy long time and get them done. I don't know. Aaron, you
I
were,
can.
yeah, you were pretty far back for a minute.
More than a minute.
In all honesty, looking back, do you feel like you did adequate documentation?
Oh, 100%. That was part of the issue. It was over adequate.
No, like I'm not adequate, but like accuracy. Like, do you think it was accurate? Like,
In comparison to a punctual trip sheet?
yeah.
Yes.
You think that if you wrote the chart 10 minutes after the call or 10 days after the call, it's going to be equally as accurate?
I think that I was doing that.
How?
I don't think most people. I think I just have a really good like recall. Um, because I could just remember the calls very well. I'm very systematic, so like whenever I had a transfer care, we have paper transfer care forms. I wrote down everything that I needed to remember how I did things, and I tend to do things in the exact same way almost all of the time. So it was like, oh, I always do this before I start an IV, so I know where the IV is, like in the activity log.
So basically, what you're telling me is if it wasn't for your superhumanism, you would not be able to act.
I would recommend it, and most people are probably not documenting the way that.
So you hand wrote everything to the point where you could basically just copy that into the digital format.
No, I just handwrote enough to be able to remember and then I know my system, and so I would then be like, oh yeah, this is when I would have done that. This is when I did this.
All right. Just a disclaimer: we here at Thanks for the Consult do not endorse doing your charts late.
I mean, I've had a chart where I was like, I'm not going back and doing this. So I just wrote down as much information as possible, so I remembered it.
Yeah.
I
I was
hate
down.
doing charts.
I was down like a month and a half at one point.
I've been there.
Dude,
Yeah, I
I
hate
would
doing
be
charts.
I would be so physically uncomfortable with that. Like my skin would crawl. Like at present moment of recording this.
Well, it became a choice. It was like, are you gonna spend every day off that you have doing trip sheets, or like and just letting this be your life? And I was just like, I'm not doing that.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like presently, I have 3 charts that I need to do, um, and it gives me anxiety thinking about them.
What are the patients' names?
Yeah, let me just break HIPAA real quick. Uh, here, here on our podcast that we put out on the internet for people to.
What was their ages, date of birth, first and last name, and last 4 digits of their social security number and address?
No clue. It's all
Actually,
names.
on the HIPAA forms my patient signs, it says we can share their information on Thanks for the Consult,
Oh yeah, you have
specifically in bold letters.
special HIPAA forms.
Yeah, they sign it. You know, if you put anything in a legal document, it's like legally justifiable. It doesn't have to like. It doesn't matter whether it violates law. If it's on a paper they sign, that's what it is.
So if you signed a paper that said I could assault you physically,
Yeah, dude, I'm screwed.
and then every time I see you, I just pummel your face with punches,
Yeah.
you can't like call the cop. You could and be like, "Ah, he keeps punching me." I'll be
You're
like,
like,
"Wait,
look
wait,
at the
wait, hold up!
contract.
I got this notarized document that says I'm allowed to
No, it
assault
would be
him."
on a scroll.
Obviously, that is
Yeah.
absolutely what you keep on a
I
scroll.
do all my legal work on scrolls by ink and quill pens.
I would be appalled with you if you wouldn't, to be honest. I just you have like a nice scroll rack with all your different.
Nah, I should get one though. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like your
Just kind of
will.
laying around.
Yeah, you gotta get some organization to them, you know. So, but yeah, no, I want to do my will on a scroll. So like, and have like an old timey reading of the will. I don't have any assets really, at least none that anybody's gonna fight over. And
But if you ever get your golf cart, somebody might fight over that.
I'm gonna be buried in that. I've actually switched obsessions. I want to get instead a K truck. You know what those are?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Kmart.
No, hold on.
Hmm.
I'll show you. They are awesome.
Does Kmart still exist? These are the important questions.
Boom. These right here. You see me pimping one of these bad boys around? Come on.
What?
Why not? Look at that.
I can see you make that a medic response truck.
What's your ETA? I have 45 minutes. You're a mile down the road. I'm aware.
Just strap the patient to the back with ratchet straps.
Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
yeah. Hell yeah. No, those things are slow as crap, but they're amazing. They're so much fun. They're all right hand drive, which is weird because obviously we're used to left hand drive. But I got to drive one when I was visiting my family, and it was a 5-speed, which is really weird because you're used to shifting with your right hand, and now you're shifting with your left hand. It's just, anyways, I wanted one of those, but my wife said no. She's gonna be upset.
I think you need to prove. I think you need to prove your manhood and just make the purchase.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. She'll be real upset one day when she opens the garage door to pull in, and there's just a K truck sitting there.
You should be like, "This is for you, honey.
Yeah.
This is your vehicle."
So she wants to use it to take like stuff down to the pool and whatnot. I'm like, you could take way more things than that. Like,
Yeah, you can load the whole back of it up.
you could put a kiddie pool in the back of it. But anyway, we have yet again veered so far off course. I believe where we got off was talking about doing adequate patient care and how documentation messes that up. But yeah, so Zach, after a year of being an EMT, what are your aspirations? You want to stick with the EMS life? You want to do something else? Where's your head at?
So I want to stay in EMS. I want to get my medic here soon.
Okay.
I don't know how soon. Still trying to figure out the logistics of that with cutting back hours to try to focus on medic class. I know that recently the new Medic Academy details finally came out, so
Yeah,
um, but I do eventually want to get my medic. I'm still kind of on the fence if I want to try to go for PHRN one day or not. I'm not sure yet, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, a nice, easy way to kind of work that out that I always like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in the field or do you want to be able to go into the hospital? And
I think I definitely want to stay in the field. But then
so,
again, I've also said like I want to be a ERRN.
yeah,
I just think I'd get burnt out like I was when I was an assistant in a nursing assistant in a facility, like just seeing the same stuff every day. Because I like that you can see different stuff, new faces every single day instead of just coming to the same old place, pretty much doing the same old routine.
yeah. No, I would agree with you. I like the variety of it. That's, I mean, honestly, that's one of the things that really drew me to the job I have now is like I see a variety of patients and a variety of different services uh and I like the fact that we have trucks in different areas. We have rural, we have urban, suburban, you know, different counties. So I get to kind of jump around and see different systems and it's I like the variety as well. So I can that
Yeah, I think most of
resonates.
the burnout when I was a nursing assistant was just going in and doing the same thing every single day. Going to the same place, being stuck in the same walls, seeing the same faces. Where now I get to, one, you never know what you're going to get. So
Yeah.
it'd be napping one minute and then all of a sudden you're going and pumping someone's chest.
Yeah.
Or you're going and
That's the part
seeing,
I hate.
well, and I've even had it to where I was napping, chilling one minute and all of a sudden I'm in someone's house and their foot's almost all the way off their leg, hanging on by a piece of their skin. So,
Big question on that. Did they have skin flakes on their feet?
not that I noticed. No,
Nice. Not gross then.
nah, a lot of blood, bone sticking out, but she got her foot saved. So
Nice.
I
How
put it back on
Blood's a
with
good
some pins.
moisturizer, so
she used moisturizer? Is that what you said?
blood is a good moisturizer.
How did this happen? Was she like was this just
So
like
you know those electric reclining chairs that have those remotes that bring you up and down.
yeah,
So apparently, this is the story that we got. She was lifting herself up in that reclining chair, and her ankle got caught underneath it, and she
okay.
kept going up to the point where it completely snapped her bone.
That's a strong electric chair.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be some type of safety mechanism in there.
Yeah, that's the story she gave us. And
Well,
I mean, she was right by that chair, so
why didn't she stop pressing the button? Like they're not automatic. Like you have to hold the button. Like at the point where it's like this just kind of hurts. Do I hear cracking? Like I would probably let go of the button. I don't know. It's just me.
maybe she saw a YouTube video and wanted to try it or something, see if it would actually work. I mean,
I
let me just
guess.
let me just snap my foot off of my leg today.
Lord, was she like kind of demented or did
No,
she have
no, she
dementia?
was
She was just
completely
like
there.
it's
I
like
mean, she was older, but she was completely there.
that's crazy.
She knew exactly what was going on and everything. They ended up, so I was still precepting there in this call, and they ended up putting two tourniquets on her 'cause she was a bigger lady and still had trouble controlling the bleeding.
They joined two together.
No, like they put two above the knee,
Okay, I was gonna
two
say
separate tourniquets. Yeah.
like I don't know if that would work, but that makes sense. Um, yeah, sometimes with the bigger folks, it's difficult to get enough, you know, pressure on there to um, really clamp down if there's a lot of beef you're going through. Like the little old lady for Wendy's says, "Where's the beef?" You know.
The cleanup afterwards wasn't fun.
No, that's my least favorite part. Honestly, is the cleaning up of the rig. Uh, initially I hated that I had to go down into the basement at Butler to get meds, but it's not terrible because normally the truck's pretty well cleaned up by the time I get back from the pharmacy.
That's fair.
But I
And
have
if you
gotten
go down
lost
there,
down
the
there.
morgue's down there too.
Oh yeah,
Instead of going right, if you take a left, you're right at the morgue. And
I'll
just go
stop
talk to
by,
some dead people while you're
see
there.
my homies. But no, I've gotten lost down there a couple times trying to find my way. But I think
Yeah,
I
that's a
got
maze.
it now. But
You
yeah,
know, if you go to the right elevator, you can actually go to the roof there.
huh. It's not like access controlled.
It is, but I had the access to it at one point.
Would like the access to the roof. Everybody I know that's worked hospital security has like the picture of them like on the roof of the hospital. Like
Yeah,
whatever
I went on
hospital
the
they're
roof,
at.
but I didn't take a picture on the roof.
Were you actually hospital security then if you didn't take a roof picture?
I mean, probably not.
It's hard to tell.
It,
Just like the every new EMT has a picture of them standing in front of the ambulance, like arms crossed. Like you have one of those somewhere.
I do not actually. I do not.
I'm gonna go through your Facebook. Aaron, did you ever
You
do that?
can. I don't think I do though.
No,
I
I don't
definitely
have any
have like
pictures like that.
I have the hospital security picture of I'm taking the mirror selfie because I feel cool because there's a badge on my shirt.
Okay.
But I don't think I have the arms crossed standing in front of the rig one yet.
We'll get that for you next time I see you.
I have standing in front of the rig, but it wasn't like an arms crossed, like trying to be cool picture.
You just exude coolness naturally. You'll need to try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
One day we'll all achieve your level of greatness.
Yeah, there was one that was like for a work badge, and then there was another one that was like we were given a grant award, and so we took a picture in front of it.
That makes sense. For one time I was working not where I'm at now, but somebody's like, hey, we have to go take pictures. I'm like, of what? They're like, somebody brought us cookies. I was like, I'm on the tail end of a 16. It's hot as balls out, and I've been wearing this vest all day. Like, I look like crap. You don't want pictures of me. Like, oh, got to do it. I'm like, okay. So, like, I just like look miserable holding these cookies with the sun beating down on me. It was awful.
Were
Were
the
the
cookies
cookies
worth
good?
it?
Yeah, right.
No,
Same
dude,
question.
yeah, I don't know. It was one of those days it was so hot that like you just don't want to eat anything. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
You have to know what I'm talking about.
no,
Heck, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
he's lying to you.
In a
He's
sense.
lying to you.
You bring out the grill, I don't care how hot it is, I'm eating.
Man, nah, if I get too hot, I gotta cool down or I can't eat. I don't know. Just
It could be 110 degrees out. You bring out the grill and start grilling, I'm eating, I don't care.
You're not truly about fat people business, viewer.
I'm not about fat people business, but I mean I am obviously, but
I don't know. Usually when he stops at the station, he has a pack of donuts in his hand.
no.
Or some kind of little Debbie snack.
False. I got meat
dude.
sticks.
Meat sticks and little Debbie's. And a monster.
Meat sticks and a monster.
Diet of champions.
Yeah, I have cut out all the donuts and stuff though, which is painful because they are delicious.
If you get blueberry donuts, they're healthy. There's fruit in them.
Is that the case?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Pretty sure it's just more sugar.
Yeah, I'll do the research, but I don't think that's right. I think it's
You don't need to do the research. It's inaccurate.
yeah, okay, cool.
You can
Research has
convince
been
yourself
done.
it's accurate.
You can convince yourself of anything, really. It's yeah, so you're thrown, kind of torn between PHRN, RN, medic. You've worked rural. You said you would like to look at some more. Is it like urban or suburban stuff? What are you kind of looking?
I don't really know. Probably in between the two. I kind of have like suburban with one of the services, but it's teetering the line.
Yeah.
I think I want the experience of being busy, and I know you guys say you don't, but
No,
like
I
I was telling
disagree.
you
I think
before, like
absolutely being busy is
yeah,
awesome.
like I went 16 hours with nothing.
Yeah.
I got up at 8 a.m. this morning, and it was 16 hours of just boredom.
Yeah.
There's only so much you could do cleaning the station, cleaning the trucks, and then there's really nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like being busier would help me experience more and would help me grow as a provider more as well.
Yeah. My recommendation to you is like think about the areas you want to work. And reach out and just say, hey, can I do a ride along shift? And most of them will let you ride along for, 8 hours, just see what it's like. Because, you'll get to experience, you may get there and realize like, no, this is way too busy. I don't want anything to do with this, or I don't like the whatever. So
Yeah,
most places will let you do a ride along. That way you're not, you know, jumping around.
I think I'm just gonna jump in straight to Pittsburgh EMS.
That is a whole different animal. But yeah, I don't know. I will say, so there's a big difference. So I worked down in the city, and I've worked obviously up, rural areas. You get more calls in the higher populated areas, but you don't get to do as much for your patients.
You get faster transports.
Yeah.
So you
But
don't get
like,
to see medicine do medicine.
yeah, or like, I'm sure you've seen, like, I get to see the effects of the treatments before we get
Hmm.
to the hospital. I get to do a lot more treatments that uh, you just wouldn't have the time for.
Right.
You're not going to delay getting to the hospital so you can do more medicine. That'd be clown shit.
I'm gonna give you some Zofran, and we're gonna sit here for 10 minutes to make sure it works before we transport you 2 minutes down the road.
Exactly. But I don't know. Like, there's the one patient that is in your area that we go to frequently, COPD, that
Hmm.
um like Aaron, when we get there, she's tripoding, accessory muscle use. Like, you can like see it in her neck. She is struggling to breathe. And
Every time.
by the time we get to the hospital, she's just chilling. She's like, "What's up?" And they always like question if like the treatment was necessary. I'm like, "Yes, but it worked." That's why
Start taking video of her.
I might. Honestly, I might, because there's been like, why would you give the mag? Why would you, give the Medrol? Why would you? It's like, because it works.
Well, also, so that same patient, I was there with you and another medic, and you gave that medication. The other medic transported it.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
now apparently a certain person of somewhere
Yeah.
doesn't want the medics transporting if that's pushed.
Yeah. So I have to, if I give any treatment, I have anything that is not, uh, the way it was explained to me is anything basically beyond Zofran and Duoneb. So anything outside of the A scope, I have to transport the patient, even if they have a medic. I'm like, I don't care. I will. But
That's dumb.
yeah, I agree. It's not like I don't know. I could see if, like, we were doing something outside of their scope, or even a med they don't carry, but it's a licensure med. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It takes, honestly, it's easier for me to write a trip sheet that I transport because I have the time to put most of it into the phone. So it's easier for me. There's two people on the crew. Somebody can bring my truck to the hospital. Oh, yeah, whatever. And then I'm down in the city, so I can, get something to eat or whatever, or go to the dispatch center and check on your dad, Aaron.
Oh, Taylor.
Yeah. So
He is my father.
I think we should do a paternity test, because I have another
I don't consent.
coworker that has the hairline that I think
I don't consent.
you don't consent.
Mm.
Well,
Taylor's
just
my dad.
just owning it.
Just type up one of those legal documents and have Aaron sign it. Just put in fine print that a paternity test is happening so he doesn't see it.
Got to order a
Scroll.
scroll. It's like a whole thing. Can you even, like, let's find, like, can you order a scroll off Amazon? Yeah,
Absolutely.
You can order
Yeah, they're
anything
on
on
Amazon.
Amazon.
they're cheap as hell too. They're $10. They're $10.
You didn't have to scroll very far.
Hey,
You can start your own medic response truck just off of Amazon.
Rose, this is where it's at. It's like a whole scroll kit with the quill pen and the ink. It's like the whole kit and caboodle.
Nah, too fancy.
But how you gonna say
I prefer my quills to be plucked from a bird.
where do you think those came from? Or like you have to pluck them?
They're artificial.
Feather quill pen.
I only use eagle plucked
Yeah,
quills.
but is it a real feather?
I don't know. Where are you finding an eagle that you can get to?
You guys just don't like pluck eagles?
I don't see eagles all that often, and when I do, they are quite high up.
If you go to the right zoo, there's free eagle plucking.
Huh. Okay.
I'm tracking mine down by hand, but that's good to know. That'd be a lot easier.
It would save you a lot of time. Because after you pluck it, I imagine there's only so much time that it's useful as a pen until it gets too brittle.
I don't know. I have so many. I honestly the scroll and the quill thing is just really a means to the end of getting to pluck a bird.
Interesting. Aaron, I'm going to write you some type of letter on a scroll and send it to you.
Just make it my payroll for thanks for the consult.
Absolutely. That would be perfect because it's not a check. So perfect.
Yeah, I'll turn in my W-4 on a scroll.
You do your I-9 on a scroll, you think?
Probably could.
Nice.
Would you do your trip sheets faster if they were on a scroll?
100%.
Yes, 1000.
Ask any of the older folks that have done handwritten charts, quick as can be, because everything you write when you're in the back of the truck, right?
Hmm.
That would just be done on your bubble form. And then you write a couple sentences on the backside, dump that in the bin at the hospital. The other one goes back to your station. You're done. Like you do not leave the hospital without being done with that chart. But
See, I feel like charts would be even easier if you just patient demographics and write a summary of everything,
that's basically what they were.
and not all the extra.
Well, now they do it because uh, the way they do billing. So is it billed out at BLS, ALS1, ALS2, and then the critical care stuff gets billed even more complex, I'm sure. So I don't know. But Zach, anything that you want to get out there, anything you want to plug, any advice you want to give, anything you want to leave the audience with?
If you're thinking about joining EMS, just do it. Take the leap. You know, it's a scary leap for some people, but it's a rewarding career. So just take the leap and go out on a limb and do it.
Right
And
on.
a lot of
And
people will tell you not to do it too, but
yeah, well, ignore them. Um, so I think it's safe to say if you had to go back and do it again, you would.
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's actually so based out of all the jobs that I've done, it's a job that I genuinely enjoy. Like I enjoy going to work and doing my job versus being miserable to go into work.
one thing that I noticed at one point when I was kind of debating staying in the business like world or going back full time into EMS was when somebody would ask me like, "Hey, can you do something on Thursday or whatever day of the week?" It's like, "No, I have to go to work." Um, when I was doing like the business stuff and in EMS, when it's like, "Hey, are you free on this day?" Like, "No, man, I work. Sorry." It's like I don't have to go to work. I work. Like
Right, right.
I'm more, like it's just excited to get the work done, do the job. Um, and even on those days where it's you're getting your ass kicked, it is still, in my opinion, anyways, um, rewarding to be able to help some folks out. Um, and I think once Aaron gets some rest from his hellacious 32-hour shift, he'll agree with me.
No,
He's just salty because he's tired. You need to come over. I'll give you a hug.
that'd be nice. Can I be Big Spoon?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Although at this point, you may have to just meet me at work for your hug.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not doing that.
Tomorrow morning, meet me at the college. We'll hug it out in the parking
Okay,
lot.
deal.
All right. Um, Zach, hey man, thanks for the consult.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always good, like I said, to get the perspective of somebody newer in the industry, because there's things that we don't always think about. But actually, I thought of one more question. I'm sorry, I know I'm messing up the whole flow here. If there was one thing about the industry, and don't say pay, that you could change, what would it be? Not just like not specifically to like a service that you work for or anything, but like just like industry wide. Like if there's one thing you could change that you think would make it better overall or easier to recruit people or whatnot, like what would that change be?
I feel like just getting more people the knowledge of the field. I feel like a lot of people, see a fancy truck, see flashing lights, and like, ooh, that's cool, or hell no, I wouldn't want to do that. If people actually knew the inside of the career and, the rewarding things that can come out of the career, have more insights of the career, I feel like it would bring people in more. And I feel like there's just not enough of people that realize that. You
Yeah,
can see an ambulance going down the road and you think, oh, they're just going to save someone's life. But it could be the difference between they're going to save someone's life or they're just going to go sit with someone for an hour and change your life just by having a conversation with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they might just be going to get a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely.
Must be a good chicken sandwich. I do love a chicken sandwich. No, I agree with you, man. That's a great take. Um, to kind of add to that, I think if people saw the different avenues inside of the profession,
Right.
like everybody thinks like, oh, there's an ambulance. You can work on an ambulance. There's so much more. Um, there's obviously emergency side. There's the interfacility side. There's the critical care. You have ground. You have air. There's long distance air, like ultra long haul air on fixed wing. You could work in a hospital clinically. You could get into some non patient facing roles within the industry. That I mean, there's so many different things you can do that uh, I think people don't realize. But yeah, but again, man, thank you again for the consult. It's been awesome talking to you, uh, and hopefully you had some fun here.
Yeah, I had fun. It went a little bit better than I expected. Not the best, but a little bit better.
Do you expect us to just beat you?
Now,
That's why we do it remote,
yeah,
so we
I
can't
like. I
actually hit the
expected you guys to
guests.
just come through the camera and like hold me hostage to get all the answers out of me.
Oh, maybe,
That's still on the table.
yeah, maybe that'll be a new next season. We'll be holding people hostage.
Thank you for the hostage.
Yeah, thank you for the hostage. um, But again, good talking to everybody, both of you. Wow, can't talk. Maybe I am having a stroke. Good talking to you guys today. Um, Again, thanks for the consult. And for those of you watching, listening, um, if you're interested in being on the show, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for the consult at gmail.com.